All right, so today's Momcast is going to be centered around my role as the mom of a multi-sport travel athlete. And before I get started, I want to say one thing. Stop letting coaches tell you that AAU is bad. Stop listening to critics tell you that AAU is a money grab and that it's for kids who are not interested in developing, because that's not true. The difference that I'm finding that most people don't want to acknowledge is that not everybody can play at the AAU level. So if your coach is telling you that, that's because they don't think you can play there anyway. Not every kid has the capability to be able to play at that level. And also keep in mind, you got to do the research for yourself. Not every AAU program is the same. Some are going to be better than others. You have to figure out what's best for your child and put them in that position to be able to excel where you put them. Okay, so for me, when I hear someone say that you are the parent of a multi-sport athlete, what that really means and what they're really saying is that you're not just cheering in the stands. It's more than that. The role I play is the scheduler. I keep a master schedule for my daughter because she plays both basketball and flag football. I am the chauffeur, or my husband is. We are always on the road somewhere, whether it's going to practice or to a training camp or an exposure camp or a tournament. We are a motivator. Sometimes our kids encounter situations that's going to test their ability to be resilient, and also it's going to test their ability to be able to face adversity. Our job is not only to help mitigate and navigate them through that process, but also make sure that we're protecting their mental health along the way. And that's something that a lot of parents forget about. We don't think to check on how they're doing emotionally. I serve as my daughter's trainer. My husband coaches her in football. He does the drills and agility outside. I do a lot of her strength and plyo and calisthenics on the inside. But at the end of the day, the role that's the most important part that I play for her is just being her mom. I love the conversations that Kennedy and I have. We can talk about literally any and everything. My daughter is very opinionated. She has an opinion and she is encouraged to speak it. One of the good things that I love about Kennedy is that she has taken on my personality, and we are not for everybody, because we're not going to be quiet when we know that we can speak. We're going to advocate for ourselves, and I'm going to advocate for her. All right, the second point that I'd like to make is the money. Let's talk about it, because that's real. The breakdown of costs: you guys have your team fees for each sport. You have your tournament entry fees. You have the tryout fees. You have uniforms, gear, replacements of stuff, the private training sessions. That's not cheap. You have to get your child practice and work outside of team practice, because again, I don't care what a coach tells you, you're not being developed at practice. Practice is not the time for individual development. That is the time to work on team concepts. There's travel, there's gas, flights, hotels, food that we're eating there, entry fees. Don't get me started on what it costs to be a parent trying to get in to watch your kid play. And part of what I feel like I excel at is the budgeting of it. I call it sacrifice as far as my time goes, because there's other things that I could be doing. But honestly, I wouldn't trade our lifestyle for the world. I enjoy watching her practice. I enjoy going to her tournaments. I enjoy watching her train. These are things that I love. And so it's not necessarily a sacrifice for me, but I can see where some parents might see that it is. Honestly speaking, the truth of the matter is that this lifestyle, it's an investment. It's not a convenience. Like, she's never inconveniencing us. These are the things that we willingly want to do. And then some people also say, oh my God, you guys make Kennedy do all this stuff. Guys, have y'all met my daughter? Have y'all met her? Because if you have met her, if you've had the joy of being in her life, then you understand that Kennedy eats this stuff. And third is the travel life. Weekends aren't weekends anymore. They're tournaments, early mornings, late nights, long drives, flights, hoping you can make a flight after a tournament, living out of bags, eating on the go, turning tournaments into bonding time and many life lessons. We have some of our best conversations in the truck on the way to where we're going. People ask about what does Kennedy do in her downtime. She's really into, well, she used to be into Legos. So she used to be into Legos a lot, tons of Lego builds. Now it's wrestling action figures. As far as family time, We travel. We try to travel at least once a year. If we can make that. We love cruises, so that's kind of our thing. Thinking about maybe adding some adventure parks, but none of us do rides or stuff like that, so I kind of feel like that'd be a waste of money, but I'm always down for a cruise. So part of the challenge that comes with being a mom of a multi-sported athlete, the daily grind and the time commitment. So sometimes practices can overlap for those two sports, or even tournaments can overlap depending on the season. One thing that we're going to do differently this year, in the past we've always kind of done sports year round, but instead of playing fall and winter basketball, which is what we've done in the past, we'll be taking those seasons off this year so that she can train. We call it our off season. You guys have seen a ton of videos of her training in the off season prior to football and basketball starting. So over the summer is when Kennedy belongs to me. She's able to budget her academics really well. Kennedy is extremely smart and talented. You might have seen a video or two of me talking about potentially homeschooling her next year. Traditional school is just not a good fit for her. So she has just kind of learned to do work in the in-between time. That's the time when we're not practicing or not traveling or not training. She is still expected to make straight A's. She doesn't go to school a lot. Kennedy is always out of school, and I will pull her out of school. I believe in mental health days. I believe in taking days off. I take them. And I'm an educator. I've been a teacher for 21 years, and I take plenty of days off. When I just don't feel like dealing, I will stay home. And so I extend that same courtesy to her. There's just some days where she doesn't feel like going and she doesn't have to go, and she still maintains straight A's. So there's never going to be a time where she's not doing anything. This does not mean that she doesn't get time to rest or recover. It means that she's not going to get months to do it. So rest and recovery are part of her routine, but there's not going to ever be an occasion where she's not doing anything for 2 months. They're also seeking development. That's not something that's ever going to be phased out. And so Kennedy trains with Coach Sean Hardiman at Ball Hard. I am satisfied with the work that's being done. I love the intensity that he trains at. And the biggest thing is I like that he holds her accountable. He doesn't let her cut corners or cheat the process. He holds her accountable. And that's going to be our word for today. Accountable. And again, earlier we talked about the word sacrifice and what that might look like. And these are things that people don't see. So financially, it costs a lot. To have a child that plays multiple sports means cutting back in other areas of your life, and that's just something that we do at this point. It's just kind of part of the process. I will continue to pour into Kennedy's dream even when it seems exhausting for me. Like, I literally just got off of work and I had this on my chest and in my heart. I said, I'm gonna go in here and make this video real fast. But we own a franchise. We own 2 small businesses outside of the franchise. So in addition to having the daughter that plays 2 sports, we still have full-time jobs. Both my husband and I work full-time jobs, and we have to manage a franchise and 2 smaller businesses. She wanted to do the chess club. I would push for her to do that. She's done UIL every single year. She loves doing the academic competitions. If she wanted to join a Lego club, I would support that as well. And so I've been asking her if she wanted to do cheer, and that was a hell no. I've asked her about her interest in band and other things like that. So I fully support her doing things, all things, if she wanted to. One of the things that I believe is that specializing too early in one sport, it creates this repetitive type of stress, muscular imbalances, and also mental fatigue. I think that little kids, and as far as I'm concerned, she's still a little kid to me. She's only 12. But as far as I'm concerned, she needs enough opportunities to be a child. And so she still swings. My daughter swings on the swing set. And somehow she keeps talking me into getting on the swing set. But she swings. She loves to draw. She loves working with Play-Doh. I won't allow her to have Play-Doh in the house or slime. Ask me why. She's no longer allowed to have any kind of slime in the house, but she loves doing stuff like that. And we fully support this thing that she has going on with these wrestling action figures. She makes a lot of stop motion videos. You'll find some of those videos on her YouTube page. But also, I encourage her to continue her multi-sports because I want to kind of resist that mental fatigue that sometimes lead to kids dropping out of sports. All right, and to wrap this all up, I really enjoy my role as the mom of a multi-sport athlete, because it gives me so much joy and so much life to watch her do the things that she loves to do. I get such a high off of it, already thinking about the fact that she's 12, and before you know it, she'll be 18 and out of the house. And I will admit, I never wanted to be an empty nester. This is a conversation me and my husband have all the time, because he's like, the kids gotta go. And I'm like, oh my God, the kids are leaving soon. So that's about it.